our second contestant, Dada. Title of the speech, Love and Care. Love and Care by Dada.
What actually makes you busy nowadays? May I ask each one of you? What makes you busy nowadays, Rebecca?
Meeting with friends.
Meeting with friends. How about you, Tom?
Trying to have lunch with my family.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for that. Everybody's busy. We have different activities, so we are much focused on different activities like friends and some like careers and everything. So every day we tend to focus on different things. But do you always ask these questions to yourself, like, is everything in balance? Do I get to accomplish things or my goal, like without neglecting my family or my loved ones? Those are just few questions that would help us or remind us that above everything else, love and care for our loved ones is the most important thing. I would say I enjoyed much of my childhood days, and even up to now that I already have my own family. Yes. And you know what? The love and care I treasured the most is the love from my grandma, because she was actually the one who looked after us or took care of us when we were little and when my parents are abroad. I salute her for that. At her age 60, she was able to do everything. She was the one cooking for us and do the laundry and everything. And one sweet thing is that she's actually the one who dresses us up, and we will go to church together. She doesn't get tired of everything. And no matter how tired she is, she would usually tell us bedtime stories at night. Yes, that's our happy moments with grandma. And there was this incident that happened when she was 60. She got stroke, and that affected her speech and her sense of hearing. So when she talks, she slurs or she stammers, and she couldn't hear you that much. It's like, what are you saying that I couldn't hear you? And there was this funny moment, like I was talking to her and I got so surprised because she was crying, like, oh, so you were shouting at me. Is that all you're going to give me now or treat me back now after all those years that I've done for you? All the good things that I've done for you? And I would say, Grandma, I was just telling you something. And of course I would hold up myself like, oh, I don't want to laugh out loud for her because she will get annoyed for that. And until I get here in Macau and got a job, and I was so busy with everything, with my job and coping up with homesickness, because it's too hard being away from your family. And I was always thinking, oh, Grandma is just doing good. She's always fine. She's a strong woman. She can do everything. She's the very jolly type until last year that I got to talk to my mom, and she told me that's actually one of the biggest trials that I've ever encountered in my whole life. Like, she informed me that Ren is sick, and it's not just an ordinary illness. She told me Grandma was being diagnosed with this terminal illness. She has ovarian cancer. I was so shocked because Grandma was so jolly that time. She's a little bit chubby when I left her in the Philippines. I was so surprised and I didn't know what to do. I was crying that time, especially if I think that she only have 3 to 4 months left to live. So I went to my boss, I went to Philippines, and I stayed with my grandma there. As I was on the plane, when I got off from the plane, I decided to go straight to the hospital. I was worried that I might not get to see my grandma anymore. And I was heading to the hospital, to my grandma's room. I can't help crying. When I got there, at my grandma's room, when she saw me, she cried out so loud. And then I hugged her tight, and then she told me, I've been waiting for you for a long time. I can't help crying when I saw her with that medical apparatus connected to her body. It's no longer the same grandma that I saw before. Her eyes sunken, she looked so skinny, and her tummy bloated so big. And I was thinking that time my life is so unfair. And I said, I was wishing that time because I was so upset I just hope I'm in my situation, in my grandma's situation. I think I could bear more the pain rather than seeing my grandma agonizing with pain. And then a month after that, I went back to the hospital so that I could spend more time with my grandma. And as days passed by, grandma changes a lot. She lost more weight. She can no longer talk that well. And then she can't even move. When I bid goodbye to grandma, as I hugged her tight and kissed her on her forehead, she whispered to me in a faint voice, and then she told me, "When you come back home, I don't think you can still see me alive." And it did happen. A few weeks after that, my sister texted me, "Grandma already passed away." Ladies and gentlemen, it's not every day that we get to see our loved ones doing okay, very healthy every day. No matter how busy we are, we should spend time and show to our loved ones how we take care and love them so much.